What do you think they want? Everything. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, current ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question. Should or shouldn't you watch this? War comes to every world. Rebel Moon, Part 1 dash A Child of Fire from 2023 Part 1 is next. By the way, this trailer is a teaser trailer, and it's 3 minutes and 43 seconds, dude.
Issa?
Wow.
We're not going to listen to all of it.
In myth, she was called the Redeemer. It was said this child would stop the madness of war. That she was to usher in a new age of peace and compassion. I was given memories of a world I will never see. Loyalty to a king I cannot serve. And love for a child I could not save.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
I found her. The Scar Giver.
I am a child of war. I was taught that love is weakness. There is a difference between justice and revenge.
There is a price to pay for your defiance. Shh. One moment. I do love this part.
Hold on.
I don't want no trouble.
We're not here to bring any.
Are you ready?
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I can't. It's only like a minute into it. It's almost a 4-minute trailer, and it's a teaser.
But
it's a teaser trailer, dude.
Is that just a microcosm of the movie?
That's what I'm saying. Also, I watched the trailer in its entirety. I'm sorry we didn't get into the start of this because this is probably how this is going to go, but it was so good. Like, I was like, yes, this is awesome. And there were so many scenes of like stuff I hadn't seen in the movie. And I was like, what? I had to cut that because it was so long.
So long.
But let's, first things first. I'd like to welcome back the Zack and want to tell everyone that he convinced me to pick this movie. So indirectly, it is his fault. Welcome to the show.
You sound like my wife right now. Wait a minute. We're not trying to choose somewhere to eat right now. Whoa.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you didn't convince me to do it. We convinced each other to do this. This was my pick.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. The hype around Zack Snyder, and I don't believe that we will ever make a decision based on Zack Snyder again.
You know, this is going to be very fun / frustrating and revealing as to how we feel the definitive truth about Zack Snyder in the eyes of the Popcorn Priest.
Yeah, and look, we're not going to throw down spoilers until next week.
Correct.
But listeners need to know that it's probably going to be a little tough to not let the cat out of the bag a little bit.
Well, let's get into it. The description for this one: when a peaceful settlement on the edge of a distant moon finds itself threatened by the armies of a tyrannical ruling force, a mysterious stranger living amongst its villagers becomes their best hope for survival. Directed by Mr. Hit and Miss and Miss and Miss Zack Snyder. So here, this is how I want to paint this picture for you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to say some things. Dawn of the Dead. Awesome.
Awesome.
300. Awesome.
Incredible.
Watchmen. I mean, I can see a lot of people liked it. I can see why. I wasn't familiar with the graphic novel as like everyone else was. It wasn't for me. Then he goes on to direct a kids animated movie, Legends of the Guardians: Owls of Ga'Hoole. And then I'm going to rip the rest of them. Sucker Punch.
Okay.
Man of Steel.
No.
Batman versus Superman.
Wait. But that first Man of Steel was awesome.
It was okay.
Cavill is the man.
Yeah, he's great. Very good. Army of the Dead. Yeah, we reviewed that. Awful.
We did. What's sad is I think we might have given that a large bucket.
No.
I think so.
No, we didn't. We gave it like a medium bucket, maybe. It's not. We didn't like it.
Yeah, we did not.
And then this. So you're looking at, he's batting strong, and then it just starts to tank, man.
Don't you feel like some of the success from like 300 could have been more attributed to the cinematography?
You're right. And I actually had this argument with one of my buddies, Dr. Dare. We were talking about this, and I said the reason why I think he hit a home run with 300 was because he had source material. And not only did he have source material, but he had a graphic novel, which is essentially a storyboard of the movie already done for him. So he had
familiarity from the watchers, right? From the viewers.
Correct. So you got people who love it. You got a brilliant Frank Miller. The graphic novel is amazing. And they've established over years how cool that was, and he got to write it and all the other stuff. And then you get this when he steps into the director's chair. It's like it's kind of a layup. I mean, granted, he had to figure out how to shoot it and how to get those frames right to look like the graphic novel, but essentially,
I mean, did he? Because it doesn't seem like he's working with the same guy, right?
No.
Like, that comes down to cinematography. I really genuinely feel like that storyboard, everything around that. I mean, we shouldn't take too much credit away from him, but I do agree with you. I don't see how you could mess that one up, and he didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, well, so that's like why I say hit and miss and miss and miss, because and I want to get into it. We might not get into it until next week, but the dichotomy between all these people who will fall on their sword for him, and then the rest of us.
Let's save it.
All right, top billed stars: Sophia Boutella, Digimon Hansu. What is his name?
Jimon Honsu.
All right.
I actually don't know if that's
all right. Well,
I actually don't know.
Jimon Hansu, and Ed Skrein, and Charlie Hunnam. I didn't know it was Hunnam. I thought it was Hunnan, but it's Hunnam with an M. Runtime 2 hours and 13 minutes. Seemed like an eternity. Rated PG-13. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says sci-fi/action, and IMDb says action, adventure, and drama. No sci-fi IMDb? Not surprised.
Really? Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, that's the whole thing is sci-fi. It should be sci-fi first. I have to go with Rotten Tomatoes on that one. Speaking of Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb gives us a 5.6 out of 10 from 95,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives us a 22% from 171 critics.
Critics? So the IMDb one was from viewers?
IMDb is from, I don't even know how it's just an amalgam, right, of just users, not like
I don't know.
It's not like critics. It's just anyone who has
Okay.
an IMDb account can rate a film.
Does Rotten Tomatoes divvy it up between the two?
Yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes, you got your critic rating, which is 22%, and then audience rating was 58% from 5,000 audience ratings.
Yeah. Okay.
At the time of this recording, you can only watch this on Netflix, as it is a Netflix joint. If you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest permanent collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. All right, man, this is going to be the most fun we've had, since Leave the
Door open.
Leave the Door behind.
Yes.
Leave Kevin Bacon behind. So what do you want? Well, you want to end... What, you want to get them all out of the way, all the great ones, or leave those for the end?
Oh no, we got to go switchback.
All
yeah,
right.
we got to take them switchbacks. Let's start on a low note. Let's see if we can finish on a high note that I'm not going to make fun of.
I'm actually glad
It's gonna be hard.
said that because I saved the best for last. So you might not even get through it. So
Okay.
all right, first 1 out of 10. Do not let Zack near a pen or the slow motion feature ever again.
Forever.
Says brained throws. All right, Mr. Brained. Rebel Moon disappoints as it fails to meet expectations, grappling with a convoluted plot and a disjointed storytelling. The excessive use of slow motion scenes and choppy dialogue seems like an attempt to conceal the film's lack of substance, ultimately impeding its ability to engage the audience effectively. Despite its ambitious premise, the space saga feels rushed and unsatisfying, unable to forge a meaningful connection with viewers. The film's narrative potential is overshadowed by an execution that lacks coherence and depth, leaving the audience yearning for a more polished and captivating cinematic experience. In essence, the movie falls short on multiple fronts, struggling to deliver the promised excitement and leaving much to be desired in terms of overall quality and satisfaction. 1 out of 10.
I mean, look, I'd love to say something about that. You know me, like normally I have plenty to say, but that one, all I can say is exclamation point.
I mean, he articulated, or he or she brained
Perfectly.
It's great. I'm glad we started on that one.
Yeah. And can I also just say the slow-mo, it had to have added 30 minutes to this fucking movie.
I mean, dude, we said that in Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
If you take that out, you remove 25 minutes of the movie.
But what that reviewer just said was perfect.
Perfect. All right. First 10 out of 10. It's Star Wars meets Dune, says B. Hernandez 2216. I finally got the chance to watch Rebel Moon, and I gotta say, it was incredibly cinematic and pretty action-packed when it comes to Zack Snyder, who made Dawn of the Dead, 300, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Zack Snyder's Justice League and Army of Dead. I pretty much enjoyed this movie because of Zack Snyder, who knows how to make movies so cinematic in the most possible way from his filmmaking industries. I don't even know what that means. The acting was pretty good, and the story was not that bad when it comes to true storytelling from your very own making. For me, it was totally cinematic, and I say this is worth a movie to watch 100%. And it's also Zack Snyder's movie of the year in 2023. 10 out of 10.
Do you want to know what I picture right now? Just go with me for a second. Okay. Oh, hey, Zach. It's Charity. Oh, my gosh, I just watched the film. I was wondering if maybe you wanted to get together for dinner or something. I also want to let you know that I left you a great review. And I'm kind of sad because I haven't really talked to you since that one night, the first night we met. And you said you were going out for coffee. Anyway, I love the movie. Call me back. It's Charity.
Call me. Call me back.
Like this is an ex-girlfriend that's trying to get back with him.
For sure.
Awful. Okay.
Okay. All right. Second 1 out of 10. Empty story. Visually good. Nothing else. Says Gordon B. McGill. So he's preferred to give his full name so that he's that committed.
Security number.
Yeah, he's that committed to his review. He's like, listen, I'm going to give you my full name.
And if you don't like it, you know where to find me.
Yeah, come find me. This has got to be the most disappointing release since the Star Wars sequels. There is nothing here remotely able to be called what Star Wars should have been, in quotation marks. Everything is empty, from the dialogue to the story progression. The only thing tying the story together is plot exposition and visual effects. And even then, the action sequences are not good, especially by the end of the movie. Empty, cliche, and more than a little borrowed from Seven Samurai and Akira Kurosawa. Unfortunately, Snyder lost something when producing this because the writing is terrible. And the exposition made me want to just walk out of my own home. 1 out of 10.
I've never heard anybody say that before. Made me want to walk out of my own home. That's amazing. Oh my God. That is the coolest thing.
Can you imagine
ever said.
Gordon B. McGill just clapping his hands and then I'm out, and he goes up, walks out of his front door.
The dog on the way out.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck you, dog." It just goes to the bowling alley to drink a couple of Coors.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Look, if you would have asked me what my thoughts on this movie were based on the trailer, I would have said that, hey, Zack Snyder was coming back to do the Star Wars correctly. Just like Gordo said, Phantom Menace and all those garbage just absolute ruined Star Wars. And so I was hyped for this because it was like, hey, he's going to come back and do it right.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you would think, like, I mean, everyone knows this, but the story is that he pitched this to Disney right after they sold to, well, Lucasfilm right after they sold to Disney.
They bought Star Wars.
Yeah. And they rejected him. And so you'd think, like, oh, man, all right, I'll show you. You know, when you get that, like, I call it spiteful achievement, or when someone tells you can't do something, you like have more motivation to do it. It didn't work.
Not even close.
Oh, man, that was great. All right, let's go to our second 10 out of 10. Delivers again. Says Kiefer's 50542. Zack Snyder delivers again. Love or hate the man, but he knows entertainment. It's a mixture of movies and genres, drama, war, sci-fi, Dune, Star Wars, Seven Samurai, Monuments Men. Forgot to write any punctuation, but it's beautiful, epic in scope, action-packed. Ed steals the scene. Steals the screen in the scenes. Ed steals the screen in his scenes. I don't know. Charlie Hunnam gives a performance I didn't see coming. Sophia is beautiful as always. Don't take my word for it. Watch it. Suspend your hatred for Snyder and just watch it. I wasn't let down. The action is epic in scope. Story is great. Effects are absolutely top tier. Part 2 comes out next year. It'll be up there with Dune in later years. It's impossible to describe. Just watch it. Don't have to be a Snyder fan or anything. Trust. 10 out of 10.
What is this individual talking about?
This is what I'm saying. I think this is like a snapshot of the community that rallies behind Zack Snyder. They're like, hey, I know you hate him, but don't just push that aside. You have to watch. They're like begging people to watch it because they love him so much, and they'll just watch whatever he makes and just love it. I don't know.
That's wild.
It's wild.
That's really wild. But okay.
Okay. Last 1 out of 10. Let me straighten up and take a breath. Okay. None of this makes any sense. says a fatted circle. What?
Okay.
A fatted circle. Have you ever heard those words together in your life?
No, but I will Google it after this.
A fatted circle. You take Seven Samurai / Magnificent Seven and put it in space. Then you steal elements from Dune, Warhammer 40,000, which I don't know what that is. Might get lambasted for that. Harry Potter and Star Wars. And mix them up in one big incoherent pile of dung. On top of all that, throw in some slow motion scenes that are annoying as can be when you just want a good battle scene. Characters that don't actually say more than 3 sentences and a backstory that isn't ever really explained. Last, make it PG-13 and tell everyone there's a director's cut that's better.
I mean, it's a brilliant move. Sign this, man.
Oh, gosh. What do you get? This boring 2-hour-long mess called Rebel Moon. This movie is bad. It was so hard to even get through this movie. They should have went ahead and released part 2 because there's no way I'm going to watch it now, months from now. 1 out of 10.
Once again, no, this is not a spoiler, but I said a few minutes ago, like, it's going to be really hard not to let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
And what he just said, I swear it to you, I was sitting here as it was wrapping up, and I was thinking, don't you dare not put the part 1 and 2 together, because one of 2 things is going to happen. Either number 1, I'm going to be happy that they're not, or number 2, I don't really care, and I'm never going to watch number 2 anyway. So, I guess it's a win-win. I don't understand any of it, but man, it's so hard. I'll save it for next week. Let's finish on the high note.
All right, here's the last 10 out of 10. And our last review of Popcorn Reviews. I didn't even do our, oh, shoot. I didn't do our soundbite.
Stinger?
Oh, my gosh. We were so excited to get into it. Here we go.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I love that too. Perfect.
Popcorn Reviews the Reviews. There we go. We got it. All right. My wife even liked it.
Hey, I thought you were saying that. That's what the review said.
No, Ricky 18575 said that.
I thought you were saying that your wife liked it, and I was thinking to myself, there is no way that she even watched it.
No. But Ricky's wife did.
You want to know what my wife said?
No, what?
I said, baby, I gotta watch Rebel Moon for a podcast tomorrow. This is Friday, and she goes, why can't you guys ever pick a good movie so I can watch it with you?
That's what my wife said, dude. Oh man, she's like, you guys pick the most terrible movies. No one wants to listen to you guys. And I told her, I said, we're doing a public service, okay?
Yes, we are. Like, this is, people have to listen to us just to enjoy what they just watched. Like, we're not telling them that they have to watch it. We're just trying to add content to it, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing that our wives both said that.
We're almost like a support group.
100%. Absolutely.
We're like Zack Snyder Anonymous.
Look, I feel bad that for you and I, that our back-to-back pods are going to be ones that we don't prop up. And I had a friend who went and watched the last one, watched the movie, then listened to the pod. And before he listened to the pod, he's like, watched the movie last night. It was awesome. I can't wait to hear you guys talk about it. And then 3 hours later, he just sent me this text message that was like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Oh, I love you, CW. Oh, man.
That's great. Well, Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
We're not always on the same page.
No, we're not. Yeah. Well, you and I usually are, oddly enough.
All right. Well, let's listen to why Ricky's wife liked it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm a big fan of the Seven Samurai storyline. I love Magnificent Seven, and I love this version as well. The visuals are stunning. The CGI is the best I have seen all year.
What?
The villain is fantastic. I love the story. I felt like I was definitely a fresh take in space. This movie is everything the Star Wars sequels could have been. I honestly don't know why it's getting all the hate from top critics who like Magnificent Seven. I'm glad Snyder makes movies for his fans and not the critics. I don't understand why Snyder gets the hate he gets. You don't have to like his fans to like his movies. Give it a watch. You won't be disappointed. And like I said in the beginning, my wife even liked it. 10 out of 10.
So in the beginning, like, that's kind of a big caveat. Oh, man. Why does each one of those all have a commonality of, hey, just because you don't like Zack, you should just still give it a try. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it.
It's like a meat eater telling a vegan, like, dude, meat's great. Have you had it? Like, meat's really good. Don't be mad about it. Just eat meat.
But like everything that these positive ones say is the exact opposite of what I saw. The CGI was fucking terrible.
Well, listen.
I don't use the F word that much, but it was fucking terrible.
There were some times where it was pretty good. And then,
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, within seconds, you would get another scene and you're like, is this a video game?
Like the gargoyle or whatever that thing is.
What?
The gargoyle, the phoenix thing.
The Phoenix?
Where he's got
Did I watch the right movie?
Where he has to break the flying horse thing.
I might have fallen asleep. I don't even know what you're talking about. The flying horse.
How's that possible? Not horse, but it's like a phoenix. Not a phoenix. Dang it. No, like a gargoyle. I'm telling you, it's like a gargoyle.
I don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
Where they go and get the first kind of bounty hunter guy. Not Charlie Hunnam. After that, they go to that ranch, and the guy has to, like, he's like, spoiler alert.
I was listening to you say break, and I thought there was like some statue that they had to break open and retrieve like a talisman or something.
No.
Yeah, it's the guy that looks like I don't know what
Tarzan.
Yeah, like Tarzan, and he's able to, horse whisper. In this case, a griffin or some
Gargoyle
kind of
whisper. Griffin. Thank you. That's what it is. Jesus, but that CGI was terrible.
Wasn't great, but like
dude.
But what's the guy? They go to one planet and there's like a religious leader or a chief. He looked really cool. The one that had like all the weird like nostril tentacles, and he had a weird alien face, and he was like the religious leader. Anyway, again, it's all a blur.
Blur.
All right, well, let's jump into should or shouldn't you watch this? 5 reasons why you should watch this or shouldn't watch this. And then you tell me your reasons. Number 1, if you want to see a movie that is worse than what you think the new Star Wars movies are, this is for you.
Okay.
And number 2, if you want to fall asleep 3 to 4 times and watch this over the course of a week or so, and you're trying to power through it so you can record this podcast, then this is for you. Okay. Tough crowd. Number 3, if you want to hear some dialogue that will make you roll your eyes and potentially sever your retinas, then this is for you.
Yes.
And number 4, if you want to see some amazing CGI mixed with the worst CGI that has ever been made, then this is for you.
Thank you. Yes.
And number 5, finally, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 4 times, shame on you, Zack. If you want to have Zack Snyder let you down one last time, then this is for you.
It's like an abusive ex-husband. Jesus.
Are there any reasons that I missed?
If you want to know what it was like when the Sci-Fi Channel first launched back in like the late 90s, this is for you.
Oh man, I feel so bad because like I do a lot of research for these pods, and I was pulling some trailers off for this show, and there was this one where Netflix released this trailer where Zack Snyder is talking about his own trailer and explaining it to the audience, which is a bad sign that you've got to have your director like walk through the trailer.
Right.
But like just listening to him, he sounds like the nicest, coolest guy ever, man. I just feel like he seems so sweet and nice and kind and like just really chill that I was like, why can't you make better movies, man?
You know, for both of us, for most people, time is not a luxury that most of us have.
Oh my gosh.
And if you're a nice guy or not, I don't give a shit. You had better come with something better than this.
Correct. Well, and when we get into By the Numbers, which is next, you'll be astounded by the production cost.
I was excited to hear this. I mean, I have a guess of what it is, but
before we hit By the Numbers, do you have any other reasons that we missed that you should or shouldn't watch this?
No.
Okay. All right, here we go. I won't miss the sound bite.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
All right, so I have 2 numbers. I have the budget because apparently they filmed them, I'm assuming, back to back. So
right.
I have the total budget for both films and then what they estimate the budget was for part 1.
I would say, just based on numbers that you've given me on the last couple Netflix ones, I would say the budget for part 1 and part 2 was probably right around $330.
Whoa. That is an astronomical amount of money. It's not that much.
Okay.
$166 million for both movies.
I mean, it makes me feel a little bit better for Netflix.
I mean, yeah, 300. I mean, that's insane.
But Leave the World Behind was what, like 160 million or something like that?
That's true. Maybe he just didn't have to pay for any actors, really.
Or cinematography or CGI.
So 90 million they estimate for part 1. It's almost 100 million.
Okay. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's shocking. How many hours? Do you have that number?
Of streaming? Here's the caveat to that is I think there's some tomfoolery going on with Netflix. So you be the judge. I'll give you the facts of what I could find and then we'll extrapolate what we think. According to the most recent Nielsen ratings shared by The Hollywood Reporter, Rebel Moon, and we were talking about this in the Leave the World Behind.
Basket on the table.
Leave the keys to your mansion behind. Was the second so Rebel Moon was the second most watched streaming movie for the week of December 18th through the 24th, with an impressive, and they go with the minutes again, 966 million minutes.
Okay.
And on the list of that week, it's number 9 on the list.
Okay. 966 million?
966 million viewership minutes. So I think that puts it like 23.9 million hours or views, maybe?
Well, I've got 7.5 million views.
Okay.
At 130 minutes?
2 hours and 16 minutes? 19 minutes?
14, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, 14. 13, yeah. So of the being ranked, it's number 9. But then this is what I read in a Forbes article. It says, however, in the grand scheme of things, as a big blockbuster, Netflix enormously promoted, Rebel Moon only debuted as the 9th most popular Netflix original film of 2023 for its opening weekend.
Bust.
And now it has dropped off the U.S. list altogether. So it's not even on the top 10 list for their all-time. Right? It's not even exist. So that's where I think like Netflix is like, hey, we know everyone's going to come out of the woodwork to watch this. We'll send out all these numbers from the first week and then not talk about it after that.
Just let it fade into black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. Yeah. I mean, but you know, if you look at those numbers, 7.5 million, let's just call it $10 a ticket. That means box office was 75 million.
So it bombed.
Not really, because when you're talking about a $90 million movie and the first week it hit 75 million, like it's going to fill in the rest, the next 15 million to be profitable. So somehow, some way, it seems like this is going to turn a profit, but that's strictly because of the low budget on it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
If Netflix or if any movie production company out there were to say, hey, we're going to make 25 million on this, like everybody and their dog would sign up for that.
Yeah. And that's it. That's all I got. I don't have any more numbers. I don't have more trivia. I don't have any more words.
Amen.
All right. You want to come back next week. It's going to be great. We have a little bit of trivia. We've got a healthy beef section and puzzle section, and then we'll give you our rating. So join us next week.
Absolutely. Make sure y'all are back.
At this point, there will be spoilers up ahead. So if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for our breakdown of This Isn't the Sci-Fi Movie You Were Looking For from 2023. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest. That means money. By visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. And lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Easier than trying to rip off Star Wars and 10 other movies.
or watch this movie.
Or watch this. Yeah, easier than watching this movie. That's even better. Oh, man. As always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my special guest, Dan. I don't want to join your rebel scum sack lunch.
Hey, it was a pleasure, my friend. Can't wait for next week.
Join us next week for part 2 of Rebel Moon, We Don't Have Enough Alien Wheat for You, part 1 from 2023. We'll see you next week.